Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Maritime History Buff. As you can see, this is a bit of a different video, and that is because I'm on Blender. Now, you may be wondering, why am I on Blender? And that is because I'm going to teach you how to 3D model an Oceanliner. If you don't know, whenever I'm not making YouTube videos, sometimes I 3D model Oceanliners, and for the most part, a lot of the stuff I had to learn regarding modeling an Oceanliner, a lot of it was either self-taught or small tips that I had learned from other friends, and I never really got a chance to learn from a YouTube tutorial, which is, in my opinion, very inconvenient. So I thought that, when I got good enough, I would teach other people how to 3D model an Oceanliner, and I believe I'm now at that skill point to be able to do such a thing. So I'm going to teach you how I 3D model an Oceanliner. I should let you guys know that I'm by no means a professional 3D modeler, so if you're looking for an advanced tutorial, this may not be the video for you. I'm just going to teach you what I know, and hopefully, if you want to 3D model an Oceanliner, maybe this video series will be of help to you. Now, this is the first video of the series. We're just going to focus on 3D modeling the hull, and to do that, obviously, we are going to need our blueprints, so we're going to get our reference images here. We got the plans right here. Now, as you can see, we've got a bit of an array of, deck plans here. I put my profile view somewhere. I'm going to go find that real quick. But what you need is you need a profile view, you need a top-down view, and if you can get your hands on it, you also need some hull lines. Now, depending on the status of your Oceanliner, your plans will either be difficult to find or easy to find. So, the more famous your Oceanliner is, the easier it'll be to find plans. And for the Andrea Doria, the ship that I'm teaching you to model today, that's not too difficult. So, that's the ship that, like I said, we're going to be modeling, the SS Andrea Doria. Again, finding plans is not too difficult for this ship specifically, because she is famous for sinking. Of course, for Oceanliners like the Titanic, finding blueprints is not going to be a problem, but for more obscure ships, it's going to be a bit more difficult. So, sometimes when you're 3D modeling an Oceanliner, unless you're working with really high-quality plans or original plans, some of it is going to be guesswork, but in this case, we've got everything we need right here. So, we've got the profile view ready to go. Now we need a top-down view, which I'm going to go ahead and get. So we've got the Andrea Doria plans right here. We're going to go and... I think it's the upper deck. Ooh, yeah, that looks about right. So we're just getting the blueprints ready. When you're doing an Oceanliner, you want to make sure that the blueprints line up perfectly, obviously, because you need to be able to get everything right. So we're just gonna do some lining up real quick on the hull here. Whenever you're 3D modeling a ship, you are always going to start out with very basic and rough shapes. And you always start out as a rectangle, pretty much. So, as I've said, you just want to kind of line everything up, make sure everything is just right. Let me get this just a little bit more forward. That's it for the bow. The stern, we're going to go ahead and line that up real quick, too. Alright, that's good. So, now what we want to do is we want to take this, make it just a bit wide. And then what we want to do is we're going to take this blueprint here and we're going to line it up to make sure that we get the proportions perfect. Alright, so we've got that taken care of. We need to rotate this just a little bit because it is a little bit off-centered. which is a bit of a problem, of course. So you want to get the width. You want to make sure that's right. Alright, so we've got roughly the exact width of the Andrea Doria here, and we've got the height of the hull, so this is what we're working with here, obviously. So what you want to do is you want to slice this in half, and I will tell you why as I'm doing this. You're going to delete the left side, or the right side, depending on which side you prefer. So you've got one side of the ship. And there is a nice little, very convenient tool here. If you go to the modifier section, generate mirror. When you click mirror, it's going to create an exact copy of the one side that you have. This means that whatever you do to this side is going to be perfectly replicated on the other side, which means you only have to worry about modeling one side of the ship. The other side is going to be perfectly replicated for you. So now that we have this, what we're next going to do is we're going to get our hull lines. These are very important if you want to get the precise shape of the hull. Now, if you unfortunately do not have hull lines, you're going to be working with some guesswork. But luckily today we have hull lines, which, as I've said, are going to help with perfectly replicating the hull, because you want to get the exact proportions. You want to make sure that everything is just right. You want to line it up to the exact width. What's interesting about the Andrea Doria's hull here is, as you can see, the bottom of the hull is wider than the top. Now, I'm going to be honest. I do not know why some ships do this. I do not know what this is called. I just know that it is a feature on the Andrea Doria, so that is what we're going to model. It's going to be a tad difficult, but we can pull it off, I think. So yeah, now we have the hull lines for the front of the ship. We got to make sure the opacity is not on. There we go. So we've got the top-down view, we've got the profile view, and we've got the hull lines. So now we're going to get started on the hull. What we're going to do is we're going to take our cube here. We're going to go to edit mode, we're starting out cube rectangle, and we're going to start making cuts. We're going to be making various cuts along the length of the ship here. We get one right down in the middle, two more over here. Actually, no. What we're going to do is we're going to line these up with the beginning and the end of the superstructure. That, I think, right there. This plan right here, by the way, is a little bit low resolution, so it is going to be a bit difficult. Actually, I have another idea. Hold on. We're going to switch our profile view because I do not think this is going to cut it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete it. We're going to go and find another blueprint. My W key doesn't work, so I can't really use it. Let me see if there's anything here that'll be of use. Alright, this here will work perfectly. We've got a nice, sort of exterior view, which is what you need. It is a little bit low resolution, but it's exactly what we need. It's going to work perfectly. We're going to go to the download section here and find our profile wherever it is. There we go. I was not doing the Blender way of doing that. I do not know why. Alright, so we're in Blender, the file opener thing. Here it is right here. Here's our profile. So we're just going to line it up. Alright, so we've got the hull here. I'm gonna do a little bit more lining it up, I mean. About there, I think. Or no, maybe here? We're gonna try here, because it looks like this area here below the windows is sort of an extension. It seems. I'm not sure if I'm wording that correctly, but you'll see what I mean. Anyways, we want to do another slice right down here. That's important. We're going to do a slice here. You'll see why, because we're going to have to cut this section out later. We're going to take a cut here. It's going to be at the beginning of the superstructure. We're going to take another cut here. A couple more cuts around here. We're just making sure we get as much cuts as possible. That way we're going to be able to sort of manipulate the mesh, really. And we're going to shape it to however it is that we want it to be shaped here. So now we begin the process of just lining everything up. That is very important here. You just want to make sure every little bit is lined up here. Okay, this is a bit confusing here. It seems we've got an uneven shear or something. I don't know. It's very confusing. I think we're going to go back to our previous profile, which is also a very low resolution. This is far more difficult than I had anticipated. Wait, actually, no, we do not need to go to our previous profile. We've got this. This makes everything a bit more clear, as you can see. Okay, we are just... This is a tad more difficult than I had previously anticipated, but that is okay. Because that is what we do. We do difficult work, and it will eventually be good quality, or something like that. Right now we are just modeling the shear. That is what you gotta do. Again, you want to make sure that everything here is aligned perfectly. Every little bit. If you get that alignment, you're good. Okay. Shear. You want to check your shear as well, just to kind of make sure it's all right. There we go, that looks about good. What's interesting about the Andrea Doria is that she had a pretty decently strong shear, I think, from the looks of it. What are we aligning to? We're going to align to this deck here. Okay, that looks about right. Like I said, you just gotta model the shear, which is the sort of curvature of the hull from the profile. looks about right. We're actually going to need to make a few more adjustments here. Alright, that looks about right. What we're going to do now is continue work on the shear. What deck do we align it to? We're going to align it to this deck down here. We just want to align every little vertex here. These little dots, those are called vertices if you're new to 3D modeling. We just got to make sure each one is aligned. And make sure it is aligned perfectly. Just every little bit here. Every little vertex. It's a bit of a long and tedious task, but it is worth it in the end because you're getting accurate proportions, and that is very important. Obviously, when you are modeling a ship, you want to make sure it looks just like the actual thing. I think that's about it for the shear. Possibly. Yeah, that's good. That's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to start pushing these little bits here back. That's just the general shape of the hull here. What's cool about the Andrea Doria is that she's got a very little sharp bulbous here, so we don't even need to really worry too much. We just relax. Let's see here. Just kind of do this now. Actually, no, we're not going to push that back just yet. Hold on. We got to get the top-down view shapes first. If this wasn't so lopsided, it would be a little bit easier, but that's no problem. For now, like I said, we just have to worry about the very rough and basic shapes. We'll worry about the finer details in a little bit later. See, we're already getting pretty good progress here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to line this up a bit. So, about there. So, this needs to go in just a little bit more. It's not too difficult. You just gotta make those little adjustments. You're gonna have to rotate this image once every so often. It's a bit annoying, but it's worth it. Actually, I think we are going to get this out a little bit further. Just because with Andrea Doria's bow wasn't very sharp at the front. It was very rounded, and that is what you want to try to replicate here. Now the stern looks about alright. we might push things out just a little further here in a second. Actually, we're going to... no, yeah, that looks about right. So, now that we've got the top-down view sort of taken care of, we're going to start further adjusting the shape of the hull here. You gotta line up these vertices right here. Like I said earlier, the bulbous bow very sharp, so you don't need to worry about beveling it or anything. If you don't know what a bevel is, it's this here. Never mind. It kind of does its own thing there. Anyways, okay, that looks about good. We're just gonna line that up here. Okay. What we're gonna do is take 3 of those and we're going to shove them back like this. Okay, actually what we're going to do is a bit of this, a bit of that, and some of that there. There we go. We've already got the shape of the stern going. We've already got the shape of the bow going. But we're not done just yet. Now what we've got to do is this. We've got to line these up here. Yay, vertices. About... I think that'll do it. What you've got to do now is... Okay, we actually need another slice here. We're going to line it to, about there. Okay, now what we're going to do is this. As you can see, the hull lines, we're already getting a very good shape of the hull here. We're just going to do a little bit more of just alignment there. I think that's what we want to do. A bit further down actually, so what we may need to do is adjust this here. Okay, we're gonna have to move this down a bit. It's too far up. We need to make sure that's even. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all of these. They are going to be moved down here about yay high, and then we're going to take these vertices back here, they're going to be moved down as well until we can get the precise point that was shown on the hull lines. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. This looks about... There we go. There we go. That's it. That's good. And we're just going to readjust just go back to lining up the vertices. And we've got the bulbous bow going on here. Alright, now we take this and okay, we gotta make sure that is right, that'll do. And what we do is we take a bit of this, here, and I think that's the end of the bulbous bow, so alright, so this is kind of the general shape we're going for. We're just going to align these bits here. Bit more of this here. So as you can see, we're already getting the basic shape of our hull here. We did kind of goof this up a bit, so this is the point where the hull goes from black to white, as you can see, and alright, we're gonna do we're gonna line it up with colors here, actually, because we are kind of goofing things up a bit here. Alright, so this is the point where the hull goes from black to white, and we're just going to make some more adjustments here to sort of line that all up. Like I said, you got to make sure you're getting every proportion here perfect. Just like that. You're getting every little bit here, and you are lining all of it up. Alright, so that looks about right. We're just gonna keep going on with the whole line thing here. Okay, we just this is sort of the point where the hull starts to sort of soften up into the I'm not exactly sure how to word it, but you'll see what I'm talking about, where it kind of starts to, you know, turn into a straight line, sort of. We've got one more little bit here, and that's when, actually no, we do not. That's it. We're going to take this here and we're going to push it in. Okay, so now that we've got the hull here finished, what we're going to do now is we're going to start pushing the outside in, which is about there. We're going to start pushing the outside in so that we can get the precise shape that she's got going on here. Make sure alright, now we're going to take this bit here and we're going to circle around and around and around. Alright, now we're doing that for the final time. And then we're going to go around here, minus that, and that ought to do it. That's good, kind of. We got a little bit of a goofy thing going on here. So this here is out of whack. So we just got to start making adjustments there. So that is the forward end of the hull complete, the basic shape. We've got the bulbous bow down here. We've got all the nice little curvatures here. So now we're going to start getting to work on the stern. What we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to transfer it over yonder. This is not good. We have to make some fixes, right? Oh, there, that ought to do it. So we're going to take this, this is the, okay, we're going to take this and we're going to follow up the hull plan. This is what we got going on here. A bit wide, but that's okay. We like our boats wide. Okay. Alright, what we need to do is... I'm lost. I'm actually kind of lost here. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? We adjust this here. Take this pulled over here. We're going to cut it there. That's our stern bit. Okay, so the hull line is not actually lining up with the profile, which in this case we're going to now this is complicated. Kind of. What do we do? Well, what we do is we try to copy the hull shape and then realize, oh wait, we can't do it. Yeah, I might be screwing up a bit here. What we're going to do is we're going to delete this top portion here. Move these down a bit, like this. What we're then going to do is we are going to line this up here, screw up a lot, but not too much. I'm going to be 100% honest, modeling this ship is a bit more difficult than I thought it would be. Yeah, hi Andrea Doria. You are a bit of a challenge, old lady. Okay, there we go. We're getting somewhere. Okay, we need to line up with the whole line here. So I forgot to mention, turn on clipping. That way, your things do not fly into each other on another side. Or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, Andrea Doria, you are a challenge, miss. But I'm hoping you'll be worth it. Okay, so this isn't exactly going the way I wanted it to, but we are kind of getting the whole shape, sort of. We're gonna have to use some cheats here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to take this, we're gonna take it all the way out here. And then this is what we do. That looks about... okay, that's good. Now what we do is we're going to... this line specifically is right in the middle of these two, so what we're going to do is make some alignments. That looks about right. Okay, so finally we are making some progress on the stern shape. What do we want to do now? Okay, so this here, we need to... okay, that looks about right. Okay. Making some pretty good progress now. You just want to make every little vertex here follow the curve. That's exactly what you want to do. Okay. Want to just keep lining everything up here. Like I said, very long and tedious process, but it is worth it. 100%. That looks about the last bit of this, I'd say. Okay, we're gonna go for one more. In this case, we do this, then this. This here. This here. And then finally that bit there. And then I think that's it. I think that's the hull shape. We're going to kind of take a look here. Oh yes, I think we've got it. Alright, so now that we've got the shape of the hull done, what you want to do is you want to go to, you want to select it, you want to go to Mirror Modifier tab, Subdivision Surface. That is going to make everything soft. Nice, sleek, and soft, just as a hull should be. What we're going to do is we're going to select these bits here. We're going to do Shift E, that is going to create a crease. It's going to make that part at the top nice and sharp, just like we need it to be. Now, there is a bit here that we want to do. That is going to be nice and sharp, just like the actual ship. I have proof of this, don't worry, I'm not screwing you over. Some holes are just very interestingly shaped like that. Okay, this bit here should not be weird. It should be, there we go. Yeah, I will show you. See, it's nice and sharp right here. And if you look up the SS Andrea Doria launch photo, perhaps not. Maybe I'll find it on Wikipedia. Give me just a moment here. Yes, on Wikipedia you can see the sharp bit just right over here, perfectly replicated on our model here. We've got the bulbous, which we're going to make a bit more sharper. Or at least we're going to try. See, this here is way too sharp, or too soft. We need a sharper ending. We also need to push this back a bit. I'd say about there. That should do it. What we're actually going to do is we're going to do this. So we should have that nice, sharp, bulbous bow that we're looking for. Just like that. Now what we want to do is we're going to take this section here. Bam! Crease. That is not what I was wanting to do. Perhaps this here. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be... Did not mean to open the render image section. That was an accident, and Blender, it seems, does not want me to close it. And the entirety of Blender just crashed. We just lost the model, possibly. Autosave, please, please, please. I really hope that autosaved. Recover last session. So this was not the last session, actually. File, open. There should be a section where you can see all previous save files. Yeah, recover. Last autosave. 1300. There we go. We've saved it. We're going to quickly save this as SS Andrea Doria because I'm not going to lose that again. Oh, thank goodness for autosave. Thank goodness for autosave. It exists. So glad I didn't lose this. Alright, so we're going to continue. And then we're going to take this here because it's a little bit weird. There we go. So, that is the basic hull shape here. Pretty much complete. Whoops. This needs to be more round, actually. I don't know how to achieve that. What we're going to do is we're going to delete the crease. We are going to bevel. We're going to bevel it there, and that should give us exactly what we're looking for. Never mind, it does not. Take my Oh, that ought to do it. Perhaps. May need to make some adjustments, but for the most part, I think we've got it. That is the bulbous bow of the SS Andrea Doria. I'm going to create a little bit there. There we go. Alright, that is it. There we go. That's perfect. That's just what we want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shade auto smooth. That's not exactly what I was wanting, but that's okay. So we've got the basic hull shape of the SS Andrea Doria here complete. Okay, it's being very weird. I do not like that. So what we need to do is we need to make that sharp, and we need to make this sharp as well, which I do not like. That's kind of what we got going on here, though. Shade auto smooth. Yeah, I think we are done with the hull tutorial. We're gonna add some color, actually. Yes, that's what we ought to do. And we have a little portion here we need to do. See, the good part is what we can do is we can extrude, set this out a little bit, and okay, what we need to do is align, align, and I think that ought to do it. We're gonna double check on the actual ship, just to really make sure we are getting it right. Yeah, I think that's it. That is it. That is the okay, now what we're gonna do is set it in just a bit like that. And there you have it. That is the basic hull of the SS Andrea Doria complete. That is part 1. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be back for part 2. If you enjoy my content, please do consider subscribing, as it directly supports the channel. And I will see you guys next time.